I'd like to take a look at my active networks for my wireless access points. And you can see there's the default name for my network. It has my email address as well as my type. So I'm going to click the expand, and it's going to give me a lot of different options. So I have identification, options, schedule, and many others. Starting off with, it shows the network name. So if I'd like to change the network name from the default username, which is going to be my email address, I can go ahead and do that here, and I'll just call this internal Wi-Fi. And I'll click Save. And now I've gone ahead and made that change. I can add additional networks, and you can see that you've got some usage options here. One is as an employee, and the other would be as a guest. So a guest typically just has internet access, whereas an employee would have internal access into the network. Then we have security. We have password as well as radius. Now, radius is going to be if you use a server that has a radius database on it. Now, if it's a Windows server, it will fall under an NPS server, a network policy server. If it's a router switch or some other type of device, then it might be called a radius server. And the advantage of the radius server is that it allows you to create a separate username and password for every single user that logs in. So that way, not everyone is sharing a password, which can be a real security issue, especially for separated employees. Another good thing about a radius server is you can do a pass-through into Active Directory. So you can use the same username and password that your users are using to log into their Windows computers if they're a member of an Active Directory domain. And so that way they won't be prompted for the username and password. It will just automatically connect them to Wi-Fi as long as their account is active. If you don't want to choose the radius option, then you can just go ahead and choose the password option, which is going to be the pre-shared key. And then you can choose the type of security you'd like, whether WPA2 or WPA3 personal. By default on this device, it just shows WPA2, but if you check the box for WPA2 and WPA3, then it will choose the most secure first, and if your device doesn't support it, it will drop back to WPA2. So you can go ahead and put in your password for accessing the device on your network. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in something simple like password with a capital P and a 0, although that's not a secure way of doing things, and click the picture of the eye so you can see what it looks like. This shows you the different options when adding in a new Wi-Fi network. And if you'd like to make any changes to your existing one, you can just go ahead and expand, and you choose those same types of options.